And we are going to have a walkthrough next week, and I'm going to share that with you to see if maybe you can attend, and Karen will be coming in as
Okay.
well.
Do you know the date?
I want to say it's next Wednesday. Let me look quickly at my calendar.
We can, because that'll be a next step we can look at.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was going to ask you, as a result of the planning, have you had a chance to see in the classroom since you all did the pacing? Have you seen a change where they're all teaching the same thing versus them teaching different things?
So, wanted to give them an opportunity to start off quarter 2. They had to do the assessment. And so, next week would be about almost 2 weeks.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, so that's on Wednesday, December the 13th from I have 9 to 12, but we'll probably do probably 9 to 10:30 cuz we wanted to have some time in there to have a discussion, and then that will roll into their collaborative planning as well.
So I'm going to put that down as a next step
Okay.
because if we identified, um, based on where you are with collaborative planning, not necessarily the problem, you've kind of identified. You in previous meetings we talked about what the problem was, not having the structure of collaborative planning, and just kind of now we've built kind of the action step around the problem of not having the structure, and now they have pace. So that next action step would be to actually see the pacing in the classroom based on what you saw
Right.
before and being able to make that comparison.
Right.
Okay, and so once you all actually go in the classrooms next week, well, let me just ask a question before.
Okay.
Prior to the learning walk, you all are still planning each week.
Yeah.
Have you and Miss West identified any other problems, or right now everything appears to be working? Um,
Everything now appears to be working. The only, like with this week and the beginning of next week, park testing. So that's just an interruption into the instruction piece.
so as you all were planning, did you plan for that or?
We did.
Okay. And so, are there any teachers in the department that are having difficulties with implementing the curriculum, or anyone in particular we need to focus on?
So, this is something that I did this year. So, I attend each month the county's professional development with the English teachers. So, they started with the ninth, the 10th, and in November it was the 11th. So, excuse me. So, Karen actually, after the teachers have attended those professional developments with them, have come in and just work with those grade levels if they have any more. Because, general session, not all the time people want to ask questions, but she has just worked with them. So, right now, ninth is fine, 10th, and 11th. And 12th grade would be this month, December. So we haven't seen anybody who is having difficulty with the curriculum.
So all of your teachers have been attending?
Yes. And even if they teach the multiple grade levels, they have to attend both months. Yes. And I mean, it's been good for me because it's giving me time to dig into the curriculum. So when I'm going in to do the informals, I have their weekly snapshot out. I have the curriculum with me. So I'm learning when I go to those meetings as well.
And so which strength are you leveraging as you're going to those meetings? Your top strength.
Learner.
Learner.
Yes.
And so I would actually say to you again, just want to commend you for taking that step. But as a learner, of course, that would be who you are. But I also would like to suggest that you share that with your critical friends as a strategy that you're using because the English curriculum is so rich.
Right.
And so it's a great way to actually learn what you should know, what you should see in the classroom.
Right.
And so are you actually using that to actually go into classrooms weekly with your informals or bi-weekly? How are you doing your informals?
So weekly.
Okay.
And if I cannot get into the classroom, I'm still providing them feedback on their weekly snapshots.
And are you seeing a connection to the classroom and the weekly snapshots
Yes.
as it relates to collaborative planning?
Yes,
Okay.
especially since we've mapped it out and have the calendars.
And so, again, just thinking of an action step, you already have the learning walk for next week. And so, I'm wondering, maybe we should look at some of the feedback to see if the feedback is actually matching with the lesson plans, to actually look at the feedback, because the whole purpose of our coaching conversations is to ensure that you're actually improving your coaching.
Right.
And so that would be one way for us to look at how you're coaching your client.
Okay.
Of course. So we could possibly do that. Okay. So based on where you all are in collaborative planning, it looks like you all are mastering lesson planning, and I know that we're kind of taking things slowly. But have you looked at your data and your PARC data with your teachers? Have you begun to build any assessment literacy around that?
No. So we have not. We have looked at the data, but we have not dug deep into that data as I would like them to have done at this point, because I don't feel comfortable at this time leading that work. And so just waiting and trying to get with Ms. Stewart so that she can come in and lead and guide them so that they can dig in deeper.
So you and Ms. Stewart had a previous meeting scheduled, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so I'm going to put down here as a next step for for Ms. Stewart to come out with the team.
Okay.
And so so again, if I heard you correctly, you've done some building the assessment knowledge around PARC, but you want Niambi to come in and do some deep diving into the dashboard, or
Yes.
what do you want her to do with staff?
So I can't think of the day, but the day that we came out to Duval for the professional development.
Okay.
And so, of course, you know how I am. When I get that information, I'm thinking about how it can benefit myself and my school. And so you said something that day that resonated with me, but I still haven't been able to sort of link it how I can use it here. But we talked about, especially now that the kids are retaking the PARC, but you said pull that data, the individual kids, and then the individual kids can see their scores and how they can help themselves, or at least they know what they've scored low on. And so that's something that I want to do, but just haven't been able to get it fully together. But, I know that it would be a benefit to the students and they would do better on PARC.
Okay, so basically, based on what you just said to me, if I'm hearing you correctly, there is a need to continue to work on building your assessment literacy around the PARC platform in order to build the capacity of your teachers.
Yes.
Okay, and so why don't we look at how we can use that as a focus. Now that you've got lesson plans down, this will help with the data U piece. And so we can now kind of identify the problem of needing to actually build that capacity around park data
Right.
and that platform as our next step. And so as we talk about what that will look like, so just think about for you, right now you've had one training with Niambi. And so there are some things that you've gained,
Mm-hmm.
and there are some things you have access to. What could you share with your staff that you are comfortable with?
I could share probably an overview of going into the tool and just showing them this is the information that the tool provides to us about our school and about our individual students.
Okay. So let's do this. Let's take a moment and let's go in and let's look at the dashboard and let's see if what that would look like.
Okay.
Right? And so, do you know how to get there?
I think I might have to.
Okay.
I had it saved to
Me too.
my toolbar, but that may have been on my other computer.
You have a new computer.
Yeah. Let me see. Because was the link sent to it?
Yes. If you
Okay.
look up your data, data management, that's the easiest way to, if you don't have it locked in, because then they sent you, that's one way to do it.
Okay.
They sent you your password. Now I'm practicing with you. I can't even think of the name of it. Park
It's
data
a-
management reporting too.
I
But you
see.
found it that way,
Mm-hmm.
right? And now you can
I
actually
hope the link's in here.
dig right in. Because what you just pulled up was actually the PowerPoint. I locked it in as well, so I can take you through the steps.